Welcome to the Revere Veterans Community Show. We have a special guest today. He came all the way from Ireland just to be on our show. His name is Gavin McAlinden. Gavin, welcome.
How you doing, Mark?
Welcome. Okay, before we start, you're here on a program from your country. Would you please tell us about it?
Well, it's called the Wider Horizons program. Basically, it takes like young people from the age of 18 up to 28 and brings them across to America to work for like 6 weeks or whatever. So, and then you go back and do your qualifications and hopefully you go to college or university out of it, which is pretty good. Like.
So that's very good. Now, tell us about your growing up in Ireland as a little child. And what made you interested in coming here to be on, learn about the studio?
I went to school, primary school, which is like younger days, and then went to secondary school. And at the end of secondary school, you can go to college and do stuff. So before I went to college, there was a note passed around the classroom saying, do you want to do media studies and stuff like that? So I ticked the box on like a petition and then got involved in media and loved it. So did that for 2 years, and then there was a college course coming up, and I tried getting into this college course time after time and couldn't get in. So it came to be that I needed more experience. So one day I was in looking for a job and seen this poster advertised saying, do you want to go to America and work in media and stuff? So I put my name down for it, and here I am.
It's a pleasure to have you do that, by the way.
Thank you.
Right. By the way, what college in Ireland did you graduate from?
Well, high school, equivalent to high school, was Lismore Comprehensive School. And then the media college that I want to get into is called Banbridge Tech, where it's like the main principal in that school does like Game of Thrones, and he done the MTV Music Awards and stuff like that. So if you get in with the right crowd with him, you could get a job out of it, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And by the way, what part of Ireland did you grow up in? The name of the county?
Oh yeah, the town's called Lurgan, and it's in County Armagh.
And how many? Oh, by the way, they have a song called "The County of Armagh." An Irish song. They always play it every St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
And it's a beautiful song, by the way.
Yeah.
That's good. That's excellent. I'd like to ask you, Ireland and America. There's some cultural differences, I guess there are. There are also difference in languages, I believe, Gaelic and English. But you can tell us more about that. What do they really do?
Well, predominantly in Ireland, it's all English speaking.
Oh.
Well, you can still get your Gaelic language talking like villages and towns, but you need to go like in the outskirt counties like Donegal, Cork, Kerry, places like that. Or if you go into like a wee village or a bar, they'd still speak Gaelic to you.
Yep. How do you say welcome in Gaelic?
Gia ditch.
Giadets?
And then I'd say Gia Smurditch.
Oh,
that's
okay.
like welcome. How
Well,
are
first
you?
let me say Giadets to you. Welcome to America.
Gia Smurditch.
Yeah, especially welcome to the city of Revere. By the way, we love to have you here. Yeah. And I love your accent, really. It sounds better than my English. I'll be honest with you. And you came all the way from Ireland just to be on RevereTV. I mean, that is an honor for us over here, really. And you know, I'm also was voted the second best host in the city. Yeah, after all the others now. So don't you like that? Okay. By the way, between when you get back home to Ireland, what are you going to do after you leave here, which is in a few weeks?
Well, the whole course is a 6-month program.
Oh, 6 months?
6 months. So at the end of America, I'll have done like 4 months. So I'll go back, and then I go to like where we were studying for another 6 weeks, wrap up all the qualifications, hopefully pass it with flying colours, and then apply for universities or the media colleges that I've applied before to try and get into. So,
by the way, I got to say something to you. You came here on April the 15th. April the 15th was also the day of the Boston bombing, but April the 15th is also income tax day that we have in this country. What are some of the holidays in your country that that I would like to hear about? You know, national holidays.
You have St. Patrick's Day.
Yep. Well, that's that's country worldwide.
That would be a pretty big one in Ireland, and then you've got the likes of May Day, with stuff like that, and just your normal ones really, like Christmas and all the usual ones.
The biggest city in Ireland is
Dublin.
Dublin,
followed by Belfast.
Right. Now, I know, like London has the subways. Does Dublin have subways too, trains?
Trams. It has like a tram system.
Oh,
you just hop on, hop off wherever you want. So it's a bit similar to T to a certain extent, but
Do they stop, or you just got to catch up?
it would slow down.
No, when I was in Frankfurt, Germany,
Uh-huh.
the tram, the streetcars, the Straßenbahn, some of them wouldn't slow down. I mean, they would slow down just barely so you can hop on it, but they never stopped. You know, you would hop on, you would hop off. Is that the same way in your country?
Basically, yeah.
Yep.
Belfast wouldn't have that. Belfast would have the buses.
Right.
So it's just exactly the same as here with the bus services, and you just hop on, hop off whenever you need
Yep.
to. So, and taxis, the black taxis. in
And they have
Belfast.
double deckers on those?
Yep. the
Yep,
double
just like in
deckers.
London then?
Mhm.
Good. So, okay, by the way, I'd like to mention something else. You came here April the 15th. How have you enjoyed our country, by the way?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And where have you been? I mean, have you seen Boston, the historic?
Went all around Boston. I've basically seen most of the downtown city. Went to a Red Sox game. Went to Cheers restaurant. Went to all the touristy places, and I feel like a veteran at Boston now. So I can.
Yeah, we have a lot of nice Irish people. Excuse me here. In Boston. As a matter of fact, when the Irish immigrants came here during the famine, this is what most of them wound up was in Boston over here. And by the way, your father and mother are still in Ireland.
Yeah.
And what does your father do, if I may ask you?
My father, he was a CNC engineer, so he programs.
When you say engineer, what structural?
Do you know the computer?
Oh, computer engineer?
Yeah, so he would program that. And my mum, she teaches line dancing.
She does?
She does, yeah. So she has all the American flags and all the American music and stuff like that.
See, now I'm just the opposite. I like the Irish jigs, the Irish reels, all the Irish music, especially the Wild Colonial Boy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I myself was wild. Anyway, any brothers and sisters?
I have a big brother and a big sister. I'm the baby of the house.
Yep.
And my sister, she's actually emigrated to Australia. So she lives in Australia. And my brother still lives back home, and he does, he programs tills for shops and factories and stuff like that. So
That's good. And I got to ask you this. You came here from, like I say, you did from Ireland here to be on RevereTV, which is an honor for us. But you also work in the control room to learn the things about American television. How do you like that, and what do you do in the control room? Just give us an example.
Back in Ireland, so we'd used control rooms before, but they were nothing like what is over here. They're far bigger and far more.
We're far more advanced, would you say?
Yeah, like as far like you would need to go to like a UTV station or a BBC station to get something even close to what is here in Revere. So when I started using that, it was a big jump from what I've used before, and really I enjoyed doing it. Like vision mixing and even editing software and stuff is totally different. So really
That's
enjoyable.
good. By the way, on your Irish TV stations, can you pick up like France or Germany or Italy, those countries coming in?
Well, we have Sky Digital.
Yep.
It's just equivalent to the cable here, so you can get any channel you want. You can get Indian channels, anything.
Oh, from all over the world? Yeah, we don't have, we have cable over here. But there are other channels where you can pick up from Canada, Mexico and things, but not like you mentioned over in Ireland over there. That's good. And by the way, how long are you going to be with us? I mean, without mentioning any further dates.
Well, roughly for another 3 weeks.
And then you'll be going back home?
Going back home and wrapping up the whole qualifications on the course and stuff. So.
And by the way, how did you come, when you came here, how did you travel? Don't tell me jib. I don't want to imagine.
Just straight hopped on the plane from Dublin.
And how long, that's, you know, it's about 5-6 hours? Yeah, because when I went to Germany, I landed in Shannon, and that was a 5 or 6 hour flight years ago with the propeller planes, and then from Shannon we went to Heathrow, London, hopped over and picked up another plane to Frankfurt am Main. By the way, have you ever been outside of Ireland and other European countries, or just the United States?
I've been to Australia a couple of times.
Australia?
Yeah.
Now I know why I like the Wild Colonial Boy, because he was from Australia.
And I've been to, see, I'm a big Manchester United supporter.
Where's that located?
That's a soccer team. And they're located in England.
Yep, so you've been to Great Britain and then Australia?
Yeah, I would go there and watch matches and stuff like that. And I've been to Wales and I've been to Scotland. Been all over, really.
Really? That's good. By the way, do you play any sports?
I play a bit of soccer back home. You used to call it soccer, I'd call it football. But
They call it football over there?
yeah,
We call it
he's
soccer
called
over there?
soccer. Uh-huh.
Our football is oval,
Uh-huh.
and the soccer is round.
Yeah, that's
So
soccer ball.
they call the round football, and over there they call our football. What do they call our football?
American football.
Oh, they don't
See,
call
the
it soccer.
No.
No, that's good to
And
know.
I've played a couple of Irish sports. You call it Gaelic football.
Oh, what is that?
That's basically you run on holding the ball, and you have to kick it over the bar for points, or you score goals. It's pretty similar, but it's far more contact sport.
That's
you know?
fantastic. That's good. I got to tell you something. I watch television, like a lot of people do on the channels, the public channels.
Yeah.
They usually have great singers that come out of Ireland, like Daniel O'Donnell, for example, or Frank McCormick. Those are singers. What are the popular songs in Ireland today? Are they something like America, like rock and roll or hip hop? Or
So the whole music scene, this probably speaks for worldwide. It's all like electronic and DJ stuff. So the likes of Daniel O'Donnell and all, you wouldn't really see them as much unless you actually go to like a gig or a concert or something. So it's dominated by popular music, even like the whole UK and Ireland as a whole.
Another question I would like to ask you about the medical system in Ireland. How does that compare with our system over here in the United States?
Well, I'm not too sure what way it would work out here, but it's pretty like just you've got your doctors, which would be your GP, your general practitioner.
Right, but let me tell you, it's like England has medicine for anyone who wants to go into a hospital. Is that the same in Ireland?
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Oh, and how does that work? I mean, do they take out the money? Like people that are working,
Yeah, they taxed on it.
Right.
So basically, you'd go to your GP if you're something wrong with you, whatever.
That's general practitioner.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then he would write you your prescription, and you'd just bring it to a chemist and get your
That's
drugs
it.
or whatever.
And you could go to any place you want.
Yep.
That's pretty good. So what else would you like to tell us about your country?
It's very green, and there's no leprechauns. So
That's why they call it the Green Emerald Isle.
it's very green country now. So it is.
So that's it. What about the theaters there, by the way?
Well, it's pretty much the same as here, whereas the theaters everywhere. Theaters everywhere you go, and all the blockbuster films and all will be shown. So, yeah.
Okay. By the way, I got to tell you something. When I was a kid in school, I read Shakespeare. This plays he wrote, and the teacher said to me, "Which one did you read?" I said, "The one William wrote." So that was mine. But you have some great authors in Ireland. Can you tell us a couple of them? Some great people in Ireland.
There's Philip Larkin.
Yep.
Did you ever hear of him?
No, but
He would write a queer amount of good poems and stuff. Like even when I went to school and was studying, you had to do English as like one of your compulsory subjects. Like he would be big time into.
he would be equivalent like to maybe like Mark Twain in America.
Yeah. It's like we'd have to like study some like quotes and stuff and relate them to him. So it was pretty. He'd be one of our famous sons.
By the way, we have another intern here who goes to the Revere High School. Her name is Alana Pasco. Alana, can you put yourself on TV for a few minutes? There she is over there. Look at her. Give us a nice wave, Alana, and a nice smile, a beautiful smile that you got. That's
I'll be able
fantastic.
to talk to you in a minute, okay?
Yep. And by the way, Alana Pasco is also going to appear on our show. She's also graduating from Revere High School next month, and she plans on going to college. And when we do have her on our show, we will interview her a lot more. And now, Gavin, I'd like to ask you about a couple of things in Ireland, if I may. You hear a lot about the Blarney Stone.
Yeah.
Could you tell us exactly what it is and what it
Well,
does?
Basically, it's a stone that's meant to have been blessed by whatever power, and loads of tourists, like hundreds and thousands, will come every month. They come and kiss it. And
You
it's
kiss
meant-
the stone?
You kiss the stone, you bend backwards and you kiss it, and it's meant to bless you with just talkativeness and niceness, and so loads of Americans come and kiss it, so that's probably why he's so talkative now.
Sometimes it's better to kiss the stone than someone else. So what other nice historic places do they have?
There's one of our main ones. It's called Croagh Patrick Mountain, and that's where Saint Patrick actually banished all the snakes from Ireland and and he rang the bell in the chapel. You can actually climb the whole mountain and go up and like blast around the chapel and visit the chapel and stuff. So that's pretty interesting places for people to go.
Okay, Gavin, I guess we're going to have to close now, but I want to thank you for spending the time with us over here in the United States. Revere loves you, America loves you, and when you go back to Ireland, we're going to miss you. And I want to thank you for coming, and God bless you, Gavin.
Thank you, Morris. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you here, and of course, God bless everyone in Revere.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.